the environment itself was toxic, but I was toxic as well. I was acting in front of my children, and that affected my children. I felt like I am losing connection with my daughter, and my son didn't speak at all.
Hi, and welcome to the Zen Supermom podcast. What I have for you today is the first out of 3 interviews that are special. Those are not only former clients of mine, former moms like who used to yell and now they're happy, but also they took it even one step further. They got trained in the same trauma methods that I am using inside my program that I developed and worked into my method. And now they are officially becoming part of the Zen Supermom coaching team. So they will be the coaches who will be doing one-on-one trauma sessions with our new clients. So you can imagine how excited and like super proud I am of this. Like, this is new for our team, that the former clients, they got so much value that they even decided to change their career trajectories and become part of this team. So let's kick it off with Sanja. Sanja's story is going to resonate with you, especially if you grew up in some circumstances that included war, so external stress as well. You were raised as a hyperachiever, so nothing less than your 1000% was not okay, was not enough. If you also are maybe even currently working in some kind of mental health care profession and you're feeling this imposter syndrome, like, how come I get so praised and I'm so good at faking it in my professional life and I'm so good at helping all these people outside and they think, wow, what a great professional I am, what an excellent human being, I'm so patient, I'm so good. And then you come home and you feel all of this rage, even without shouting at the kids. You feel that rage, that frustration, that resentment, that stress inside of you. So if it feels like you're Jekyll and Hyde, like hiding yourself behind that wall, all of these are the things that Sanja is talking about very openly. This used to be part of her journey. So if you want to hear her story, if you want to hear how she turned it around, if you want to feel just the amazing energy that she's shining out now, without even any perfectionist walls, without hiding, she talks about it openly how it was, then just come and join me. She's such a wonderful woman. So hey, without any further ado, meet Sanja, the former Momzilla who turned into a Zen Supermom coach. Welcome, Sanja. Thank you so much for joining me, Sanja. Welcome to the Zen Supermom podcast.
Thank you as well, Alan. I'm very happy to be here today with you.
And it's going to be such a powerful sharing. Everyone, you're in for a treat. Sanja is one of our first 3 Zen Supermom coaches that has gone through the journey herself. She is going to share with you how she was not a perfect mom and what it was all about. And that's why I appreciate you so much, Sanja, for your courage. And this is the victory story. This is how Sanja turned her pain into a victory. Not only she healed herself and her family, but she got trained in these trauma methods. She got trained by me to become one of our new Zen Supermom coaches. And I'm so excited to welcome you to the team. So this interview, this chat is for anybody who's curious, not only in hearing how that journey looks like for somebody to go from like the complete guilt and shame into healing, but then even taking it further into helping others. So I'm really excited. It's great to have you here.
Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to be here.
Yeah, so let's start at the beginning, huh? This is where I always start, even if we have like Zen Supermom clients, mom who just finished their first 3-4 months of the intense healing journey. And I would love to start there with you as well, because that's how we met. Like, you were a mom asking for help. So sum it
Yeah.
up. And I was even like, I have our call notes here. It was in February 2024. So it's like only a year and a half. Oh my goodness. And you're already a coach in our team. So let's start at the beginning. Why did you find me? Let's share with everybody your story.
Okay, if you allow me, I would like to spiral back into the past. how everything developed and brought me to you. So I am the third and the youngest child, and I have the older sister and the brother who are outstanding. So they're amazingly smart, they're amazingly advanced, and they are overachievers. They're not overachievers, they're just naturally champions in everything they do. And when I was around 4 or 5 years old, I understood that everything that they do with 50, when they're 15 or 16, that should be possible for me as well. And it looks like that in that period of time, these features which I started developing, fortifying, and cementing later in my life, like perfectionism, people pleasing, hyperachieving, controlling, extreme judge, like I am the judge of all judges, appeared. And I started excelling in everything. I had strength, I have to have strength, I need to push through. So there was no optimum, there was no even maximum. Push through it, but it hurts. Of course, it hurts, it's going to make you stronger. And then later on in my childhood, when I was 10 years old, unfortunately, war happened. And war happened with all its traumas and horrors. And at that moment in my life, I understood that I need to fortify these features that I cultivate in order for me to survive. And I survived. But that was fortified so much that I didn't understand that I have developed like this cast around myself, which was a perfect image of myself, outstanding image of myself, which was meticulous one. But it looks like that real me, that my spirit inside was starting to become more pale and pale, a pale shadow. And then, unfortunately, when I was a young girl, when this war ended, a second war started. And since my smart brain was like, I got you. So we had all these tactics which made you survive all of this. We're going to apply them all, but we are going to make them stronger. And I have cemented them. So luckily, those strategies helped me. But the war was over. But it looks like wars were over. But it looks like that I still had wars in my head. And I was getting older, and I was getting on my plate more and more and more and more, and I just couldn't eat it anymore. But I was eating it, and I was eating it with a smile.
Can you give us some examples, please? Was it about your professional life? Was it like what were you getting on your plate? What was it? How did it look like that
Everything,
cementing of your like strengths?
everything. Find a boyfriend. I found a boyfriend, and I was his rescuer. I was his manager. I was his mom. I was everything but his girlfriend. Do you want to study? Pff, of course, I want to study. What are you going to study? What is the hardest? I'm going to study that. But what is your passion? Well, my passion is something that is not so hard, but it's abstract. Just enroll in 2 universities. Why wouldn't you? So, study 2 faculties. I was always trying to be the savior for everyone, but for myself. Everyone. So, do you want to go in sports? Yes. Damage your health? Why not? To become a champion. And in the end, I wasn't a champion. I just got sick.
Yeah.
So, and I was never blaming the others. I was blaming myself, inside of myself, but I didn't want to show it. As I was previously mentioning to you, no matter what was happening within me, I am business professional. I have this smile. And I got, I just broke in one moment of my life because I understood that I cannot juggle with all the balls because the balls were constantly falling down and hurting me and making me feel shame, making me feel not adequate, making me feel not even be good, but not enough.
Yeah. So what was the specific situation? And like, sorry, if you want to like share more, like before you get to the point of like looking for help. But then I
Yes.
would, yeah, let's
I'm
describe how
going
that
to,
process was like
yes,
specifically for
I'm
you.
just coming to it. And I find the love of my life, the best man in the world. We got married, and because of the situation in my country, we moved and we settled here in Germany, in Berlin. We couldn't have children. We lost a baby, and after that, we just couldn't have children. And I felt even incompetent as a woman. You cannot do anything, it looks like. And new country, new language, everything is new. And I had this like blessing from the universe that in the middle of that hectic, I became a mother naturally. And I got two childrens in a 1 year span. And all of a sudden, I am changing my careers. I'm starting a new career, which is in tech, and I was in medicine. And I have two babies, and I am in a new language, in a new country, without any external help. And I'm not even perfect woman. I'm not even perfect mom. I'm not perfect in anything. Okay, am I good? No, you're not. Are you enough? No, you're not. And I needed to excel into my new work environment. I needed to prove myself, to show myself, to bring the value. But unfortunately, I didn't have luck. The environment itself was toxic. But I was toxic as well. I can realize it right now because I was drinking that toxicity. And on that toxicity, I was trying to give an answer with my excellence. And imagine what was the answer from the other side. So it was a vicious circle, circling and circling. And I was coming home from work with this cemented posture, just trying to see my husband's face. And when I see him, I break. And I started crying. That was the period of my life when I was really crying. And I was hiding from my children. And I was acting in front of my children. And my children were little. My daughter is 6 and my son is 5. And at that period of time, they were 3 and 4. And that affected my children. I felt like I am losing connection with my daughter, and my son didn't speak at all. And that has awakened all of those ancient fears within me. And even though I was really trying to be the best mom to them, I was losing my temper. They were just kids. And now as an adult, it can be, it can go on my nerves. Absolutely. I'm a human. But to answer like an angry, insulted child to them, that was the moment when I wasn't recognizing myself. So I was waiting for them for such a long time. Universe gave me this gift, and now I am spewing all of this acid on me and on my beautiful family. And because of overworking, unfortunately, I finished in emergency, and I had a heart problem, I was in a hospital for some time. And I said to myself, I need to draw a line here. I need to stop doing this. And first of all, I need to find myself, to realize who am I, and then to offer this version of myself very gently to my family. And that was a problem, Elena, because I have a tendency to impress. How in the earth I'm going to have a therapist when I am the best therapist of them all? So I need to impress them. And I just didn't reach out for help. And that was deepening, deepening, deepening to the point when I felt the lowest. There was no value. There was no light. There was no anything. There was nothing. Imagine there was nothing. And in this nothingness, I understood it's not about just myself. It's about them. And I need to help myself in order to give them. They didn't acquire to be born. I was the selfish one who brought them here. And now it is my honor to bring them light, the light which I can without the smoke. So I saw you online and something magnetically attracted me to you. And I understood that I need to try this. At that time, I was unemployed. Every cent counts. I need to try this. I just need to. I like science. I am very meticulous in researching things. So if she states that this works in 3 months, I am not going to be the meticulous one. I'm not going to excel this program. I'm going to do this program. And I'm going to do the exercises which are given to me. And I'm going to give my best to crack open this cast which I had around me. Because I really felt that this is the place where no one expects anything from me. Just speak. And I was speaking, and not that I was just speaking. I felt like after sessions one-on-one, and after week after week after week, my words were becoming lighter, smilier, more colorful. And I found myself. I literally found myself. And this me, which I found, oh, she didn't look like a perfect one at all. But she was me. And she wanted me to accept her. And I accepted truly who I am. I want to state 100%, but this is a journey. I'm working still on it. I am far, far away from perfect one. And I'm happy because of it. Because I'm just human. I'm organic body with beautiful universe within my head, which just want to enjoy the journey. I just want to enjoy the journey, and I am. And after I finished the course, at the beginning of the course, I had pretty low score. If I remember, something around 8. So I needed to be perfect in that as well. Is there a low
8 out
score?
of
Yeah.
100, just so that everybody knows there's a scale,
Ah,
100%. And so what you're saying, you were 8% out of 100.
yes. So is there a low score? Yes, there is. Give me the lowest. And I really didn't want to compete with myself anymore. There is nothing to compete with because during the journey, I realized that in some parts of my life, it looks like that I dissociate entire being from who I am. And I had so many different Sanyas within me who are living right now, not in perfect harmony, but they know each other, they understand each other. The older ones are suiting the younger ones when the trigger is coming, because sometimes me as a mom, as a professional, as something, I feel a trigger. I feel the trigger coming. And for instance, 16-year-old me within me soothes 5-year-old. And I'm so thankful for it. I'm immensely grateful because I literally feel like I'm finally standing in my shoes. And these shoes are perfect size, like Cinderella shoes. These are one of a kind shoes, and these are my shoes, and I own them with all the bad sides, with all the good sides. And I understood that this is my calling. I have enough. I have enough magical tools in my healing bag. And I have enough will and enthusiasm to support all of these wonderful women who are ready to reach for help, just like I was, to give my best to them in order for them to understand and to find their best within them. And here I am.
So beautiful. And you have also then enough compassion and zero judgment for them because you walk that path yourself. And there are so many like aspects of it I want to detangle because it
Mm.
will speak to so many different women, like all the hyperachievers who had to prove, and it was
Oh,
not even like to prove you're good enough, like you're the best. It was just like the basic minimum required,
yeah.
as you said. Like super achievement was normal expectation. Nobody even raised eyebrows. Like you got 8 plus, good, you should. It's like, right?
Yeah.
Hyperachievement
Yes.
was the minimum norm required to
Yes.
even have a normal emotionally avoidant treatment from the parents, right? What you shared also about like the professional mask and that you put around those
Yeah.
walls, the cemented, the cast, just so that people couldn't see the vulnerable you, because that would make you weak, that would make you selfish, like putting
Mm.
your needs. You were there taking care of everybody, right? So there are so many women who will resonate with this people pleasing and with you losing yourself basically under like
I was
behind that wall.
literally, I was literally shining outside and suffocating inside.
Yeah. And like, how amazing of you to be such a strong, positive person, right?
Yeah.
But like, who's paying the price? And what does that do to the connection if people don't know the real you? If they don't even know, if you don't
Not
feel
just the
vulnerable, if you're
people.
helping them. I know I got that feedback from some of my corporate friends like 15 years ago. I was there always for them. I was like the unofficial coach, even for my friends, even before I did my coaching training. But then they were complaining, like, but you never tell us anything about you. And I'm like, me, I'm okay. I'm doing fine. Because
Yeah.
I honestly thought, well, I am, like, right? Not
Yeah.
realizing that I did not want to talk about myself because it's like, why would I? Like, that's too, nobody's interested. Why should they care? Kind of thing. Yeah.
Yes.
So there are lots of women who will resonate with that aspect. And then what you said about your professional standpoint, I meet a lot of parenting coaches, coaches in general, counselors, therapists, even like clinical psychiatrists, women who feel so ashamed. On the outside, they're such a like they're the representation of healing
Yes.
and of calm and a healthy lifestyle, but then when they come home and they have all these emotions, and maybe just like you, we were just talking about it yesterday, you are not the yelling mom. Like, yes, you lost your patience from time to time, but you were not like me. Like I used to be like the yeah. You did not do that.
Yeah.
And so this is the pressure that often comes from somebody who is already in the mental health care profession. You feel ashamed, you feel that anger and resentment or frustration with your kids, so you don't yell, but you just swallow it in. And that's
Yes.
the thing that makes you sick. And that's exactly part of it why you ended up in a hospital, right?
And shame and disgust towards myself because I am preaching here, for instance, to my patients, you should do like this with this beautiful tone and everything. And at home, I'm doing completely opposite. So you are not true. And then all of these inner conflicts and all of these battles within the suffocating shade
Yeah,
within. So we need to open the window and
exactly.
we need to have a clean air and to see everything under light. Something is not going to be pretty, but some things could be clean, some things need to go out in the trash, some things could be repaired, and there will be enough space for new things which are going to be made and advanced and working finally with me and for me.
Yeah,
And it happened.
absolutely. And it's a process. The healing is a process. And as you're saying, like we need to open up the window, we need to share that even. Yeah. This
Yes.
is why, and I want to share that with every mom or dad or anybody listening now. This is the key requirement based on which I do the recruitment and training for my team. Every single coach on my team, they practice what they preach. I do not tolerate incoherence and inconsistencies. Like in, you can be the best coach in the world, having 50 years of experience and 500 certifications and licenses in so many different ways and techniques. I'm sorry, but I could not care less. If you're not living what you preach, if you don't have a daily practice where you walk the path yourself, you're not going to be on my team. And so this is why I'm so happy that Sanja is open to doing this podcast episode with me and sharing like all of her like the dark moments and how not pretty it was back then, because this is what I want everybody to understand. All of us carry like these
Yeah.
shameful memories from our past. All of us do. And people who don't, they're just either avoiding it or faking it. And the healing of it is a process. It doesn't happen overnight as abracadabra, even though, yes, as Sanja mentioned, and I'm mentioning it everywhere, I'm now even getting my method licensed because when I talk my PhD professors that we do it in 3 months, that we heal generational, intergenerational developmental trauma in 3 months, like their jaws are dropping. That's a breakthrough in psychology and mental health science in general.
I apologize.
But even though it's so short, it's a process. And yes, we help you in those first 3 months in getting those tools and getting the help. You will get comfortable in using them. But for all of us, for me, for Sanja, for every single coach on my team, we keep practicing these tools.
Yes.
Because without that, it's the patterns we were wired when we were so young, they are like they are basically part of our DNA. And epigenetics has proven that they are part of our DNA, literally, biochemically. It is wired in our system. So the only way to keep rewiring and keep going for a healthier outcome is to keep up with your daily practice. You cannot avoid that. So this is why this was the final one of the things that you mentioned as last, Sanja, that I loved about what you shared is that you were able to get yourself off of that, like I'm the expert, I'm already perfect pedestal, because that's what I see. Like that's the exactly as you said, the imposter syndrome, and so many moms who approach me who are coaches, therapists, or counselors. Get down from your pedestal, realize that there's only so far I can get by myself. I need to get better tools and I need to start practicing what I preach. Otherwise, that
Yes.
inconsistency is going to kill me. Yeah.
If one wants to be fit, one needs to practice and eat healthy. So, what we are feeding ourselves with what, and how do we practice us is going to give the results. And unfortunately, these results are not instant, but they're pretty fast and they're depending on determined how one is determined and how much one practices. So I wanted really to speak my truth. Maybe my truth isn't pretty, maybe it is, but it is mine. And in order for me to support people into healing who are going to offer me that truth, wouldn't be awful for me not to offer my truth as well. Because I recognize these people. I've been there. I've done that. I've tried those masks. And it looks like that this life wasn't for me to the extent that it finished. So I said that I am newborn. I do not have many years, but I have lots of experience with my open heart, with all of my experience and full compassion.
Yes, and I wanted to follow with that what you were sharing, that you're here, like you shared your story so that people know how it felt, and you're offering that as an exchange of trust, that people will be sharing their story with you so that you can help them heal. So you're sharing your story in return to like build that connection. And on that, I just wanted to say that your own story and healing, that's the foundation. And then on top, you've got a lot of like professional training that was very intense and it's not finished. Like your basic training is finished and you are safe to go and do the sessions. And also you continue and you're
Yes.
doing even extra training on top. So this is just for anybody who would think, okay, so when I finish the program, I can go and be the trauma coach for everybody around me. Like, no, it's not so easy. It's not so straightforward. Sanja continued on her journey and she did a lot of work to be able to not only have the methods to help others, but also to be safe in doing that so that people, whatever like childhood pain they carry, they can be safely, like Sanja knows how to take care of them. Yeah, beautiful. Sanja, thank you so much. I
Thank you.
would, this was really a beautiful sharing. I would say I didn't even have to ask you any question. I didn't want to ask questions because it was like such a beautiful flow of sharing from you. So just check in with yourself. Is there anything else you wanted to mention that we didn't touch upon that you feel it's important for people to know?
Right now, I can't recall anything, but I am very happy to welcome all of these wonderful souls who are going to recognize themselves in my story and in stories of our other wonderful coaches and in Elena's story as well. To, if they are seeking help and support, to open up themselves in this place, because I guarantee it with my own experience, this is one of those sanctuaries. This is the safe place, and in the safe places, healing can begin.
Beautiful. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait for all the lives you are already touching, but it will be now even more that you're becoming part of the team, the ripple effect of the healing. That's so beautiful. Thank you so much, Sanja.
Thank you,
And thank
Ellen.
you, everybody. Send all your love and like your thoughts. If there was anything that resonated with you about this episode, then you can comment or send us an email whenever you're watching or listening to this podcast episode. There's always a way how to reach us. We would love to hear from you because we know me and Sanja, we are not alone who's feeling this way. So come out of the shadow, let yourself be seen, and let's have a chat just to see. Yeah, maybe, who knows? Maybe there's some passion like sleeping in you. Some of the moms who meet me already for the assessment call, they say like, oh my goodness, and I want to heal for myself. And maybe just what if I could become like a trauma coach myself? Wouldn't that be amazing? And I'm like, yes. Let's go, girl. Excellent. Thank you so much, Sanja. It was a pleasure.
Thank you, Elena. Thank you all.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. And I'm going to see everybody in the next episode of the Zen Supermom podcast. Bye, Supermoms.
Bye.